Marcus Rashford and that dream move to Barcelona, is it moving closer? We've got updates on Marcus Rashford's situation, contracts between him and Barcelona, and the positivity around that between the club and the player himself. We'll get through all of that. We're going to talk about what that game was earlier on today. The message from Omar Berrada, very positive one, I think, in terms of what he is talking about there and how prepared Manchester United are for what is to come as well. All of your thoughts on everything that we're talking about again this evening. We are going a little bit earlier because I've got quite a few things to do tonight. More information on what that is in the morning. I'll fill you in on the morning show, on that one. But yeah, let's get into the conversation and let's get cracking with everything tonight so far. Hope you're doing fantastically well. Hope you're still awake after watching that Manchester United game earlier on. I thought, you know what? I've seen a few people doing watch-alongs for the game and I thought, it's not worth it. Like, why am I even bothering? Why am I stressing to try and actually watch this game or try and cover this game? It really means nothing. And I think Ruben's message after that game said everything, to be honest. And I'm going to go into that as well. And I'm going to tell you exactly why there was no point in even looking at anything that went on in that game there. And we'll get into that and get your thoughts on it as well, of course. But we want to start with Marcus Rashford. We want to start with these talks and what Fabrizio Romano has said first and foremost with everything around this possible move to Barcelona. Now, let's get one thing straight with this here. In fact, let's get into what was actually said first of all from Fabrizio Romano. Well, today earlier on, sources in Spain were talking, and there was a picture online of Dwayne, his agent, obviously, Dwayne Maynard, he's Marcus Rashford's agent, and their statement was from Sports over in Spain, who cover a lot of Barcelona, just so you know. There is an ongoing meeting this morning between Deco and Marcus Rashford's agent at a hotel in Barcelona. So, sporting director of Barcelona, Deco, we all know from his days at Chelsea and Barcelona, he has been having a meeting this morning. So that's come from the Spain side of things. Take it with a pinch of salt and move on. Hopefully that is right. The pictures were there. Maybe it was happening. We don't know. But it seemed positive from that side of things. But then Fabrizio Romano has come out this afternoon as well and had his say on the situation and what's actually going on. And his point on this was there are positive feelings on Marcus Rashford's side following a new meeting with Barcelona. So the meeting did happen between Dwayne Maynard, Rashford's agent, and Deco today. He also goes on to say, Marcus Rashford, Fabrizio, Marcus Rashford remains very keen on Barcelona's project. There are positive feelings on his side after a new meeting today, but it's still early in terms of club-to-club negotiations. Now, TalkSport have also said their piece on this, and their look on this was that Manchester United may be forced into loaning Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. So what they're saying with this is that Barcelona are negotiating with Rashford for one reason, because they feel like they can rip Manchester United to pieces in this deal. And like Romano said there has been no club-to-club contacts at all yet. This is just Maynard and Barcelona, Rashford, Barcelona, trying to do a deal that suits both of them. Now, we know Barcelona are not going to think twice about shafting Manchester United, and right now we know that Marcus Rashford and his people are not going to think twice about double shafting Manchester United. And this is what TalkSport have said, and I kind of look at this one and go, this is what I see actually brewing here right now. And this is what I think is actually happening with Marcus Rashford. So these negotiations are great and all well, but they know, Barcelona this is, that he has turned down Aston Villa. He said his goodbyes to Villa the other day. He wants to play in the Champions League. They know that he wants to move to Barcelona. That is his number one priority. After not being able to make the move in January and just needing a club so he could get back into the England fold, Marcus Rashford has now waited it out after spending the rest of the season at Villa, said goodbye to them, now knows this summer that there'd be a better opportunity for him to move to Barcelona. Now, what that means is Barcelona know that Marcus Rashford is hell-bent on moving to them. They know that he wants that and nothing else. And yeah, okay, right, fair enough. There is a possibility that this could happen, and there is a reality. I've laughed off this move forever and a day and said there's no chance that Barcelona are taking Marcus Rashford. They're going for Luis Diaz. I've been going on about it for a few days now, actually, but what we haven't really picked up on, and I'm going to come with the other side of the argument as well in a moment, but Marcus Rashford, in only wanting Barcelona, means that he can negotiate a deal with them that suits him and Barcelona. And that's fine. And what they're trying to do together is work on a deal where he is happy to move to Barcelona and he's hell-bent on moving there. And then them two would come together and push Manchester United into a corner where Rashford was at Barcelona. Now, Barcelona are reportedly going to push this as far as trying to loan Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. So this is Marcus Rashford kicking off his side of things and pretty much trying to get in there early before this window opens to try and negotiate a deal that best suits him and what he wants, then saying to Barcelona, you go now and press on to Manchester United and make your deal. Well, this is now down to Manchester United to say, F you, this isn't happening, or they buckle. They completely buckle, because we know that Manchester United need the money of Marcus Rashford to help finance this summer's activities in the transfer window. Where a loan move works for us, I don't know. It would be a loan fee, all of Marcus Rashford's wages paid, and an obligation to buy him at the end of the season. That's the only loan move that would work for Manchester United. And we all know that Barcelona are not going to go for that. We know that there's not a chance in hell Barcelona go for any obligation at all. They want it to be in their hands. They like to be in control. This is why negotiations and deals between United and Barcelona in the past have been it's just non-existent. There's been loads of talk. I've never been convinced at all that Manchester United will do business with Barcelona on any player whatsoever. They can say that they've got a good relationship. They can say that they've got good contacts and that they can work something out. This is a new regime at United, new management. But honestly, I don't think this deal will happen, because I think United will tell Barcelona where to go. And unless Barcelona want to fork out money for Marcus Rashford, I don't see this deal happening. And Rashford's going to have to make a decision. Because I fully think that Manchester United are happy. They're happy for Marcus Rashford to sit and rot rather than let somebody else come in and dictate to them, or Marcus Rashford dictates to them what he wants to do in this move, or what he wants it to facilitate moving forward. I just don't see any world where Manchester United buckle to Barcelona. They surely cannot be that desperate. They can sell Anthony, they can move Sancho on, they can sell Garnacho. They have got enough money to actually get deals done elsewhere, and we don't know what's happening with Bruno yet. If Bruno is sold, by the way, I do believe that they will flip the bird to Barcelona if they try and loan Marcus Rashford or lowball him with a bid. I think they will just tell him where to go. So again, it brings Bruno Fernandes's transfer into the situation, because this frees up Manchester United completely. And they can just say, well, we will get the players we want. We've got all of them Bruno Fernandes wages off the books, all of that money in the bank. We can get the players that we need to. We've got them. And you can rot, Marcus, unless you go out and find another club. But we're not accepting what Barcelona are offering. So there are a few different moving pieces in this, and I think it can go a number of different ways. I just feel like right now, the early negotiations between Barca and Rashford are key in this. I think they're going to try and push the loan like what TalkSport was saying, and try and back Manchester United into a corner. We'll see what Manchester United's recruitment team, management team, and negotiating team can do with this, because I think Barcelona really do feel like they hold the upper hand here in the whole situation, because Marcus only wants to move to them. And if nobody else is in for him, or he doesn't want to go anywhere else, that obviously gives you a little bit of an advantage in being able to negotiate a better deal that suits you. And I think that is where this is now at. And I do believe that Manchester United, I think, are going to have to prepare themselves, because Romano confirmed that there. Pretty much, just to go over that again and where we're up to, Marcus Rashford's agent, Dwayne Maynard, has held meetings with Deco, sporting director at Barcelona, today. And there is a positivity and a positive feeling, Romano says, around Marcus Rashford's camp that a deal can be struck. But there are no contacts yet between both clubs. And this is what I mean. Like, Rashford will be all happy. Yeah, I've got my wages. I'm happy with this. I know what the deal is. Let's make this happen. And then he'll leave it to Barcelona to deal with Manchester United. A whole big hurrah will be made about Manchester United stopping Marcus Rashford moving on. Everybody will start kicking up a stink. Well, you wanted to get rid of Marcus Rashford. You isolated him, Ruben. And this is what you're getting. This is your punishment for doing so. All of this talk will start. All of this will start building up. And then the pressure will mount on Manchester United. And Barcelona know this. Barcelona know that Manchester United need to sell Marcus Rashford this summer. And this is the problem that we've got. This is the issue what we talked about earlier on with Garnacho. With Manchester United in a position where other clubs know they want him gone. And same with Marcus Rashford. They want to, and they know. And then in come the low ball offers. In come their stupid bids that you're just not even going to consider. And that, I think, is where we're going to be with Marcus Rashford. And how quickly United move is going to be dependent on how long this saga moves on for. How stubborn is Ruben going to be in not playing Marcus Rashford if he does come back and they don't get a deal done? All of these questions will start to be asked. And you cannot just say that Ruben Amorim has just ended his relationship with Marcus Rashford completely. If he's still coming back to the club, he still has to talk to him and train him. He still has to deal with him. So if United stand firm and don't buckle to Barcelona, are we then saying that isn't backing Ruben Amorim and just getting that headache away for him? Because if Rashford's in the squad, it doesn't matter what you bring in. That poison is still there. And that ill feeling from before is never going to go away. The leopard never changes its spots. Marcus Rashford will still be a thorn in Ruben's side. And that's where this deal then starts to come to a head. And someone at the top will have to go, I need to make a decision here. Are we backing Ruben and taking a lower bid? Are we getting Marcus Rashford out for a full year? Can we negotiate the best loan deal possible? Because I've said this before. If Marcus Rashford goes on loan to Barcelona, you can bet your top dollar things go wrong with Ruben Amorim next season. Marcus Rashford's walking out in the 2026-27 season in a freaking Man United shirt again. And he's done it again. He's won again with another manager. That will be the scenario unless United get the obligation loan out there for Marcus Rashford. That's how I read the situation at the moment. That's how I look at everything that's going on with this Marcus Rashford situation. There is plenty to look at. There is loads for Manchester United to discuss, I think, here with Marcus Rashford and the different situations. If Marcus is only wanting to go one place and he's not going to agree a deal with anybody else, what do United do? I've got a poll running right now. Please do get involved in it if you are live. If you are playing catch-up later on, then do let me know what you think. I've said, where will Marcus Rashford be? What will happen to Marcus Rashford? Will we sell him for 40 million? Will we sell him for less? Or will we loan him out again for another season? What do you think will happen? Let's have a quick nosy on in at that now and see where that vote is actually at. And then 61% of you actually feel like Manchester United will still sell Marcus Rashford for 40 million quid. Interesting. Very interesting. Didn't see that one coming, to be honest. I didn't think that we would be going down that road. But look, I just got that horrible feeling right now. But we'll get into the comment section on this. Please do get your thoughts in on why you think that this is the case. If you have put a vote on the actual poll there, please do get a comment in as well. I think either way, we need the funds for Bruno. It'll be the same Hollywood balls next season. He won't change. He won't get better bid for him. He won't get a better bid for him again, and he isn't getting any younger. Look, I mean, I'm going to argue with everybody forever and a day about Bruno Fernandes' impacts. You all heard it. I've done it many a times before. But what I'm not going to argue with is the fact that United need that money. And what Jamie is right with his comment there, where I may disagree with the constant Hollywood balls. I think Bruno is a lot more than that. I do agree with what Jamie says there in terms of this deal is never going to be there again. This deal is never going to be an option for Manchester United ever again. And Bruno Fernandes will have to be sold. If United are looking at this Rashford situation, I think that, again, going back to what I said this morning on the show when we was talking about the so-called rumours about Bruno being close to signing this deal with Al Hilal, that Bruno Fernandes being sold opens up Manchester United's transfer window completely. And that, I think, is the biggest thing in all of this. Markash says, if you can afford £8 per month, I would recommend YouTube Premium. Oh, right, sorry. Someone talking about YouTube Premium there. I don't care where he goes as long as we get rid of him, says Babs. I'm manifesting that some carrot will buy him. To be honest, in terms of who, it looks like Barcelona are the only one. And that's what the point of this video was. It was a case of Manchester United not actually being able to get anything off anybody else. Like, we haven't got the opportunity to sell him to anybody else at the moment because Rashford's digging his heels in and he's only going to go to where he wants to go. And I think a year on now, I think we're in a situation where Marcus Rashford feels like he holds the cards again, and it isn't him being held to ransom that like he thought in his eyes in December and January at Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. You go where we send you. I think now it depends how much of a grudge has Marcus Rashford got. Does he even want to come back and speak to Ruben Amorim like he has to? Reports have said that he is going to do as well. How far is Rashford going to take this? That's the question. Is it going to be a case of Marcus Rashford comes back and they make up? I can't see that. Marcus Rashford then is going to try and push for Barcelona. There is no one else out there, and that is a big problem. Why would anyone spend 40 million on Rashford? If it happens, 90% of it goes into Rashford's pocket, not 90% of it. It won't do. But this again, is why we're looking at the loan as a possible option for United. Look, Marcus Rashford right now, when you look at his current salary, everything that Marcus Rashford is, everything that he has done to Ruben Amorim and this football club over the last couple of years, is it a case of the real backing is in just getting rid of him? Or do we have to look at the financial side of things? And again, like I said this morning, this is why Bruno Fernandes comes into this. Whether you think he's involved in the Rashford deal or not, Bruno Fernandes is involved in every single transfer that Manchester United make this summer. He could have a massive impact on all of it. It opens up a completely different world for Manchester United this summer if he does go. You heard what Omar Berrada was saying earlier on. Omar Berrada today at the game over there in Asia was talking about Manchester United's plan and what they're doing going forward. What we've got there is, I think, Omar Berrada saying and telling the Manchester United fans that they've been preparing for this window for months. They've prepared for every different situation and ending to the season, and they're ready to go. They now have to implement the plan and go forward and make it right. That's what they have to do. They have to fix what they've learned, he said. The mess from this season and the disappointment from this season, they need to learn from, and they need to start by rebuilding in the summer. And they know what they've got in terms of a transfer plan. I think he made it very clear, and I think it was very positive. Some would say, look, he's bound to say that we've been doing this for months and planning this for months. No, we haven't been doing that before at Manchester United, and that is new for us. And where it's normal for every other football club, I think it's new for Manchester United that we've actually got a management team in, or people in place at United that have been planning a transfer window. He actually said that Ruben is constantly talking to Wilcox and back and forth, and it's been a consistent dialect between all of the recruitment team and management and Ruben Amorim throughout the last few months, and they are ready to go. They know what they want to do. They know exactly what they want to do, and they have to put that plan into practice now, and hopefully we get it done. So let's just see. Let's just see how that works. Some people are pushing that as a bit of a back out of what's actually happening and what should happen. I don't. I see that as a positive, personally. I think what Omar Berrada has said there is exactly what Manchester United fans were hoping to hear. Look, we knew what was coming in different scenarios, and we prepared for every single one of them. So let's see what they do. I think when they're talking about big change, when they're talking about things that are going to change at Manchester United, I really do feel like this is now the time when we do see it. And how I said this morning in the morning show, when I made the importance of every single transfer, what was the biggest transfer overall for United? Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, Onana. There was different issues with every one of them players. Attitude for Garnacho, quality for Andre Onana, money for Bruno Fernandes, absolute headache and nightmare for Marcus Rashford. That there, I think, says everything about Manchester United's squad. I could have had a list of about 10 different players that could have been equally as important for being sold this summer for Man United. I really could have. But, look, we didn't get it. We didn't get it, and I think the plan now would be, personally, like we've discussed already, them 5 players off the back of Rashford being sold. So somehow United have to make this happen. Somehow United need to make it work. They really do. And that, I think, is the biggest challenge of all in this summer. I really do think it is going to be a difficult one for United with not having the Champions League. But look, what Berrada has said is, I think, exactly what we wanted to hear. We needed to know that there was a plan in place, and now we move forward from here. And I think that is it. So when you look at Marcus Rashford right now, that being one of the sales that Manchester United need to make. We've seen Manchester United today on the pitch. Didn't really need to talk too much about that, to be honest. It was a bit of a usual as you were sort of game for United. Too hot, crap pitch, pointless game, nobody really interested. Why are we doing it? To make a few bucks and cover it by saying we need to go and see our fans. Nobody wants to be there. Ruben doesn't want to be there. You can tell in the way that he talks. He said the best bit and the positive bit about this game was the kids and seeing the kids play. Another positive in this was Sekou Kone's performance in this game as well, which has got a lot of praise. And Ruben has said that you will see more of him in Friday's game as well against Hong Kong. So that's going to be good. And I think seeing the likes of Kone, Morehouse get a bit more game time, I think is good for Manchester United fans to see something different, because, let's be honest, the game was absolute dross. I mean, what is the point in Rasmus Højlund? Honestly, right now, I feel like the talk about the strikers and Manchester United looking into this window to bring forwards in, he's just going to gather more and more momentum the more and more you watch someone like Rasmus Højlund. And it's 3 days now to go until this window opens. We know that Matheus Cunha is having a medical at Manchester United in the next couple of days, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, which will be important just to get that deal over the line. Ruben did get asked by, I think, Laurie Whitwell or another reporter on Matheus Cunha. Whitwell said, and I think we all heard what Ruben said anyway, was, I'm not going to say anything about that at the moment. You have to wait on Matheus Cunha. But in time, we are going to make changes. So I think that when the window opens, we are going to see that start. Ruben, obviously, will be talking about Matheus Cunha. We are going to get that deal over the line. And I think because Cunha's been bubbling up so much over the last few weeks, and we've known this deal is going to happen, I feel like it's just going to get drowned out a little bit. It's just going to get forgotten about a little bit, because we've all expected it to happen for so long now. Like when the window opens, United are going to make a signing instantly. We never do that. And before, that would have been great, but it is right now out of pure desperation. Us clinging on to any single bit of news to find a positive for Manchester United. Cunha being that. And as soon as that window opens, him signing, he's just going to be like, right, yes, good. What's next? That's all it's going to be. And I think Manchester United fans, we all want more. We all need more. And watching the game again there today, you're seeing the same things. A poor touch from Rasmus Højlund, passing it to an opposition player. Useless. Andre Onana palming shots out into the middle of his box. Useless. And Ruben Amorim's only positive, the kids. Clearly doesn't want to be there dealing with these players right now. He wants to come back fresh in the pre-season with his new squad. And this is what we're talking about with United, trying to push these deals forward as quickly as possible. That's what we're hoping is going to happen. That's what has to happen right now. We need to have Manchester United active and ready to go. We really do. And that, I think, is what we're all holding our breath for. It's because I just cannot see a world in where Amorim survives if he's got even 7 or 8 of them players that were finishing the season off in his starting 11 next season. 2 or 3 players is not going to be enough for Manchester United for Ruben to survive. It really isn't. And just the goalkeeping situation alone right now with Andre Onana. There is another story going around today, by the way, about James Trafford. Manchester United are considering goalkeeper James Trafford to replace Andre Onana. It would take a significant fee for Burnley to sell, though. That's a report come from Gimme Sport on that one. Now, we've known there's been an interest in James Trafford anyway. Burnley got promotion. You're going to have to make a massive bid. Can't see James Trafford happening, I'm going to be honest. Barcelona look like they're going to take Juan Garcia now from Espanyol. So it looks like 2 of United's goalkeeping options are off the table. It looks like they're getting snapped up. Obviously, I don't think we're in a position to buy Emi Martinez yet. Unless someone like Bruno gets sold. We get money for Rashford. Everything goes really well. So I can see them 3 just drifting away right now. We're looking at Milinkovic-Savic, obviously, as an option for Manchester United. I think he's right up there right now. There's been a few others as well. Lamens as well as another goalkeeper that United have been linked to. But just watching Andre Onana, he's on a plane right now heading over to India to do some more representation and business for Manchester United. It's like, are we really, really bigging this man up to be a major part in this team? If he is going to be a big part of Manchester United next season, Ruben will fail. He will fail miserably. I can tell you right now, it's not going to work out for him if he is in goal. I think everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. And like Ruben said, I'm just bringing up a couple of Ruben quotes now. Kone will play more in the next match. He did well. All the young players have tried, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, of course, we should perform better. We were slow, and we still don't have. We don't have in us a win every exercise in training, every game. He keeps on talking there, Ruben Amorim, about everything that he's trying to do and how he's finding it difficult to drag that win out. They need to be winning them games. He's not really bothered about anything else but not getting any injuries from that game. But the positives are the youngsters. Like, you've all seen the little clip of Shea Lacey and his cameo online, which is good to see. Sekou Kone has come in for a ton of praise from the game. He really has. So that, I think, will be something that we're all going to be looking for on Friday. I think we are going to be looking out for Sekou Kone and more of a role for him. Bruno Fernandes playing the full game again. Like, I don't get that either. Like, why is Bruno playing every single minute? It's pre-season. Give somebody else a go. And like we said, like, embarrassing, really, for Manchester United to lose that game. I honestly don't care, though. I really, really don't care. I don't think it's important. I don't think we should be playing it. And I really don't think that any real Manchester United fan is too concerned in watching. If this was pre-season going into next season, and this was the team that was playing, and this is what we thought we were going to be dealing with next season, I'd be shitting a brick. I would. I'd be absolutely petrified, and I'd be going mental about what's going on. But it's the end of the season. We've only just finished against Aston Villa at weekend. We've just got off the plane. We've not even trained properly yet, and we've lost a game in sweltering, humid conditions against an okay side, whatever it is out there right now. But honestly, don't care. Really, really don't care. Is there anybody actually concerned by what they watched there today? Obviously, it's the same concern, surely, and we already know what we're looking at going into this. Let's get a few comments in. Stu says, Malacia, Anthony Sancho, Onana, Casemiro, Garnacho, Højlund, Dalot, Bayinde, Shaw all need to go. We need a football manager. We need a football manager summer. Onana needs to be gone. I say again, I'll not be watching United if he's in. This is what I don't get from United. Like the protection and love for Andre Onana, when everyone on the planet can see how poor he is. I'd take literally anyone over Onana. You're right, Adam. Man United will be worse off with him between the sticks, it says Marcus. Onana cannot even do the basics of what a Sunday League level hungover keeper does. He's shite, says Ginge. Onana is the worst keeper I have seen in a long time, says Gehan. Wow. Everybody's on the same page with Andre Onana. Crap. Get him out as quickly as possible. I never will get it. Look, I may be completely off the mark here and miles off what is actually happening, and he's gone in the summer. Or are we bringing another keeper? It has been said, and I've said before, that United are looking to bring a keeper in. We definitely will have another keeper in to compete alongside Onana, because I don't think anybody's coming in for him. And when you think about it, when we say Onana needs to go, nobody's going to spend 30 million on Andre Onana, which is pretty much what Manchester United apparently need to get. I think it's 20-odd million that we need to sell him for. I think after this season, going into next summer's transfer window, United would have paid off a little bit more from Andre Onana's transfer and the fee that we owe him of that 47 million. Ludicrous. And we might have a better chance selling him next season. Just don't start him. I think that's where we're at. Billy says, Adam, it will all depend on when we sell players before we can buy. Can't see any more than 3 signings, maybe 4. No, we can buy 2 players right now before Manchester United need to sell anybody. You're right. The other forwards, after I'll say, for instance, that number 10, the number 8 and the goalkeeper, I think come with sales. But I do think United will make a profit on Altay Bayindé. I think we'll make big profit on Vitek because he's had a good season. So we can get a keeper. So there's 3 signings pretty much. And then you're looking at if Bruno leaves, if Garnacho leaves, Anthony Sancho, Rashford, Malacia, them 6. They're the big ones. I cannot see Casemiro leaving right now. That may change through the summer. Someone may come in and bid for Casemiro and United just say, right, it's gone, get the wages off the book. But at the moment, there's absolutely no stories at all. No stories at all regarding Casemiro, and there is nothing happening whatsoever. Greetings. Sorry, I've lost that one. That's gone. I'm very concerned by the performance. These are professional players which don't seem to want to compete to win games. Their attitude in the main concerns me. I don't see any effort to win matches. I think this is what Ruben Amorim has been talking about, in that he doesn't see enough in this side right now. They need to do this, they need to do that, we need to do this better and that better. It's like a constant conversation with the media and every question that comes at Ruben about needing to improve this. We've got to do this better. We need to win these games. We need to do this. Need on every single subject. Honestly, it feels to me like he needs to sell everybody the way he talks sometimes. And again, it is going to be a huge concern going into next season if he's got anywhere near, I would say, 5 or 6 of this starting 11 starting next season. It is still going to be a concern. We do need to bring in the players that we've discussed. One of them players is Liam Delap. And by the way, 0 update on Liam Delap today, which is strange. Because we are expecting this announcement this week. Now, obviously, it's still only Wednesday, I get it. But into Thursday and Friday now, I kind of thought we might have heard something by now, but we've not. What does that mean? Does that mean that he's actually considering that late bid from Newcastle? Does it mean that he's actually thinking about the Chelsea offer after their final tonight? He's waiting to see what happens, how they perform. An announcement with Jadon Sancho or other forwards at the club? Is he getting word on what's going to happen from Chelsea first of all? Is that what the delay is? It could be anything with Liam Delap right now, and why we've not heard anything yet. But still, for us as fans, I think it is a bit of a worry, because I think Manchester United is pretty much straightforward. Like, you know what you're going to get. And some people would say I'm not concerned because I don't want Liam Delap. But I look at this now, and the more and more this drags on, the more and more I think that United are not going to get Delap. It's like everything's there. Like, it's set in stone. We've give you the options. We've give you the whole speech and spiel about being part of the future of this football club. You're going to be a main player and a main striker for Manchester United. Like, what's the delay? What is the delay right now? Like, and it makes me think like he's looking at other options. Like, I feel more than anything, like Chelsea are in the Champions League. Is he waiting to see what happens with Sancho and how many players leave Chelsea before he makes a decision? He must know who he's going to now. Surely, he must have a good idea about what club he wants to go to. But no update on him either. The word from what we were saying earlier on today regarding Gyökeres and Arsenal is still not happening yet, apparently. There has been a lot of noises about Arsenal now forwarding that bid and are in place to take Victor Gyökeres. I was talking about it earlier on. There's since been reports come out saying that there is nothing, absolutely nothing happened yet with Victor Gyökeres. I still don't think he's going to come to Manchester United. I thought I'd just mention that and the update of everything else and what's going on. So there's nothing on Liam Delap. We know what's happening with Cunha. That medical is coming in. Then Brian and Boomer, like we discussed earlier on, I think he's going to be determined off Garnacho. Garnacho, I mean, obviously, never judge a book by his cover, but the videos and him leaving and his whole demeanour around this little mini tour for Manchester United is one of a slapped ass, please get me out of here, I don't want to be here anymore type of player. I don't want to say, like, look, everybody walks around in their own way, conducts business their own way. It doesn't mean that they're an absolute knobhead. I say that. That's why I said never judge a book by its cover. But still, he just doesn't really come across like a player that wants to be at Manchester United right now. So, yeah, I think that as soon as this tour is over, we will get something more concrete and significant on the Garnacho side of things as well. I really do think that is what is going to happen with Ghana. In terms of Kobbie Mainoo, I did a show earlier on from a report coming out from the Daily Mail. Some people trying to spin this as absolute bollocks, and Manchester United are just going to use Kobbie Mainoo's contract announcement as a cover-up, as like a new signing in the summer. Look, that could happen anyway, but United clearly had the opportunity to do this with Matheus Cunha. They haven't done. They've waited until after the Aston Villa game pretty much. Obviously, United finishing with a win in that game. Some people were saying they probably wait until we lose that game and then try and spin it and turn it the other way around and make a big positive out of it. Look, Mainoo's contract negotiations have been going on for nearly a year. So anybody coming out and saying that this is just made up crap from the media because they're just going to use the announcement of Kobbie Mainoo signing a new contract in the summer as a big positive and some big news, is talking out their ass completely. Because this has been going on forever and a day with Kobbie Mainoo, and we all know it. We've got videos going back months about contract issues and negotiations. So why? Why would this be anything else but a problem? It's a huge problem for Manchester United. Because Kobbie cannot decide what he wants to do. And unless he wants to go out there, perform, like I said in the video earlier on, and stake a claim and prove to Ruben Amorim that he is going to be one of his first choices on that team sheet, then he needs to do one. Find another club. Do your Garnacho. I don't care. Honestly, if Mainoo leaves, I really will not lose any sleep over it. I don't care right now. I've said this before. I know what these players have done this season. I know when they've gone hiding, and I know that is under the manager that we're going to have next season as well. And they're going to have the same problems. And all of a sudden, because he signs a new contract for 180 grand a week, he's going to perform better. It doesn't make sense, does it? And this was the point I was making earlier on with Kobbie Mainoo, is that why haven't you signed the contract? Why would you sign a 180 grand a week contract if you're concerned about your place in the side? It doesn't matter what money you're being offered. If you're concerned about not playing and being and featuring for England, then all you're looking at and all you're looking for is money. It's a completely stupid, nonsensical statement to come out from his agents, is saying that he's worried that he's not on the same amount of money. He's worried about where he fits into the system with Ruben Amorim. So, okay then. So, we'll give you 180 grand a week wages. There's the contract that you want. Are you not going to be worried about not playing in the system with Ruben Amorim now because you're on more money? He's chasing the money. And that's a player you don't want. So, I'm not surprised that this has dragged on and there's been massive amounts of delays with it. It makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever right now. And to be honest, looking at it, when you look at everything that's happening, when you look at everything that Manchester United are looking at right now and what they're trying to build, there is no room for people like Kobbie Mainoo in this side. Sign the contract that Manchester United want to offer you. Sign that, get the deal done, and then what we'll do, we'll try and build you up and develop you even more, because you've got years on your side, absolute years on your side to develop as a better player. And we know the qualities there with Kobbie Mainoo. We know what he can do. We know what he can produce. And Manchester United have got a quality player there, as long as he wants to bring the attitude that matches it. And if it does and it aligns, then we've got a world-class player on our hands possibly. But right now, we haven't got time to mess around with players who think that they should be given the world too soon. No, that should not be happening. It's an absolute joke. I want to play more. Ruben, quickly, just on the other players, more quotes that I didn't read out earlier on. Definitely on Coney again. Coney will play more in the next game on Friday. He did well, but all the young kids tried, and that's the most important thing. They want to play more, but we have to rotate everybody so everybody can play. They did well. So Ruben just passing this off like it's just a bloody exhibition, like it really is. He's treating it like it is. We have to make sure that everybody plays. It really, that to me says that he's not bothered about the result. He really doesn't give a shit about what happens. And United are just going to go into this next game on Friday exactly the same way we did today. get some more minutes in players' legs, have a look at a few more youngsters. Hopefully it's mainly youngsters, because I really don't give a shit about any of the first team players at the moment. We've seen enough of them. Let's give us something new to watch. But then again, he does understand that they're on a tour across the other side of the world where people have paid good money to come and watch the main stars of Manchester United, if you can call them that. And there's the ironic thing in all of it. They don't deserve that support over there, some of these players. They really don't. Let's get a few more comments in. Mainoo, even when he has been available, has been awful this season, has not looked bothered at all. Move him on, open heart surgery, so the next bunch of academy kids know they have to perform. I said that about Garnacho this morning. Garnacho pretty much being made an example of by Ruben Amorim is a sign to all of these young lads coming through right now that are featuring on this tour that you are never safe, and there's never enough. You can never give enough. You have to give more and want to give more week in, week out. That's the only way you survive in the first team at Manchester United. And up to this point in this season, that hasn't been the case. And that's what Ruben, I feel, is trying to install into this squad of players more than anything else. That you have to work to be in this Manchester United squad. You have to work to be part of this team going forward. And under his tenure, you're going to have to work double time to get into it, because that's what it's going to take to undo the mess that these players, along with the poor recruitment and bringing them in, has created. Your last chance, basically. I think a lot of them have already gone way, way, way past that. Just to go back to the main news again on Marcus Rashford's situation, if you are just joining us on the show, welcome along, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastic. Will Marcus Rashford be sold for 40 million, sold for less, loaned out again? 60% of you still feel that Marcus Rashford will be sold for 40 million. 25% you think for less and loaned out again. 14% of you think Rashford will be loaned out again. And on that, Marcus Rashford, his agent, Dwayne Maynard, has been pictured having meetings in Barcelona today with Deco. We thought, is that just a made-up picture? He could have been talking to anybody. But then that has been backed up by Fabrizio Romano, who came out and said that there is a positive vibe around Marcus Rashford's camp, that a deal can be struck with Barcelona. There are definite talks planned and more talks in the future as well. Sorry, there are definite talks gone on and more planned for the future for Marcus Rashford. Romano definitely making sure it was clear, though, that no club-to-club contact has yet been made. And this is still a work in progress. It's still early stages. My point on this, and what I want you to obviously get into the comment section with, is this the aim of Marcus Rashford and Barcelona to back United into a corner? Because TalkSport did a great piece which said that Barcelona feel like they can push United to loan Marcus Rashford to save them the financial burden and risk of Marcus Rashford, because it's the only club Marcus Rashford wants to move to. That, I think, is the big push from Barcelona and Rashford's camp right now. He just wants to be at Barcelona. And I'm telling you this for nothing. Marcus Rashford thinks that he can be loaned out to Barcelona, and in a year's time, he will be back at Manchester United and Ruben Amorim will be gone. I bet there's something in Marcus Rashford's head that's thinking that right now as well. I guarantee it. There is a small voice in Marcus Rashford's head telling him that if I just go out on loan for another year, I'll be proved right again in his head by another manager being booted out of Manchester United. We cannot allow this to happen. We really can't. And Manchester United have to stand firm, in my opinion, on this and see this out. Exactly. No one was complaining when Ferguson was axing players because of this. But now it's Amorim. People moan, but this needs to happen. Players need to realise you have to earn your way. It's not given. Exactly that, Dan. Well said, mate. Rashford gone begging to Barca, says the Dark Muppet. He has. It seems like it anyway. Remember the last pre-season? Everyone thought Liverpool weren't even going to make top 5. Well, look at that. Everyone had their version. I didn't think that Mo Salah was going to be a good player this season. Look, if the manager gets it right and he gets the right team around him that want to work for him and play for him, then anything can happen. Nottingham Forest came off a relegation-threatened season and went straight up to challenging for the Champions League right until the last few weeks of the season. That's where United need to be. There is an example in this league already. In Aston Villa, in Nottingham Forest, relegation to European football. It can happen. And they are both in seasons without European football being played. So the opportunity to prep and be ready for Premier League games a bit more should play into Manchester United's hands next season. If it doesn't, then good God, man, what else can we do? Like, surely, like, we are diseased if this doesn't work well for Manchester United next season. Adnan Amorim is getting sacked regardless of who gets sold. He couldn't buy a win man. Today doesn't count for nothing, mate. I'll judge Ruben Amorim on the next season, mate. Really looking forward to seeing them fixtures come out, because, like Boxing says there, he's given up on Ruben already, like a few other people in this chat have. I'll be looking at them first few games and what comes out. So Ruben may get a plum draw. He may get a dodgy draw straight out. But if Ruben doesn't win any of his first 3 games or something like that, oh, God, you can imagine the clamour and the cry for Ruben to be booted at this point. Good God, it will be bad. It will be negative central. I'm not sure if Malaysian fans enjoy seeing Asian winning or disappointed Manchester United loss. That was the team that we played today. Sorry, I just couldn't understand it in smaller letters. Sorry, mate. That's Mark Ash's message. Fans left early, but it could be infractured, etc. The score shouldn't matter, but we haven't put the ball in the net. Just on that quickly there, just reading through that message there, it just reminded me of something that Samuel Lucas wrote, who was at the game today, that there were boos again from some section of the fans. Like, if you're getting booed on tour, there's a problem. There's a massive problem. If you're so-called loyal and fans that haven't seen you in the flesh for 9 years are booing you en masse, then there is a problem that needs to be sorted. Oh, God. I just pray that this summer actually goes well for Ruben Amorim. He gets the players he needs, and Manchester United do actually start to improve on the pitch. Good God. I really do. I couldn't stomach another manager coming in and then seeing some of these players come back again, because they will. Hyland failed to take any threatening shot on goal, while also not connecting with his teammates through wayward passes and runs. Can't even score against an Asian team. Well, no one could score against an Asian team, but again, I pick up on your point that Rasmus was awful. Again, like, he has been awful for a long, long time, and we all know this. By the way, everybody, please make sure that you pop a like on the video. Thank you if you have already. Really do appreciate all of your likes and all of your inputs, messages, and everything into the videos. Thanks again for all of the support. It has been absolutely booming. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, everybody, please, as well. We are climbing up to that 80,000 mark now. Just a few hundred away from 80k. Another landmark in the bag soon, hopefully, for us. So, again, thank you for all of your commitment to the channel, as always, everyone. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to end that poll there. Nearly 1,200 votes on that poll. The majority do feel like Manchester United will get money for Marcus Rashford this summer. I've just got that horrible feeling that it might drag on this one again. But just in everything that I've said, that looks like Barcelona are backing United into a corner with Rashford's representatives as well. There's still that feeling that Rashford must have, that he isn't going to get into the England side in that World Cup. He has to move. And if United say no, I would do that. I would call Anthony's blush. Rashford's blush. I would just say, no, all right, we're not going for it. We're selling you, or it's nothing. Go to Barcelona, but show us the money. Otherwise, you're just going to have to come and rot again. I bet he changes his mind, because he needs that England spot. And I think that, more than anything, is what is going to help Manchester United in this fight against Marcus Rashford, because I think it is going to be a fight. I think it's going to be one of them horrible sagas that we don't want to be involved in, but naturally end up being involved in. And that, I think, is where it's at. Because I think Rashford is just trying to back United in here. I do. I think United call him out on it and say, okay, go to Barcelona, but you're going to go for money. Otherwise, that's it. I think he's expecting Manchester United to buckle. I do. I think he thinks United will buckle and go with the loan. I don't think United will go for it. I think we'll hold out, actually. I think we'll play hardball, and Rashford will end up having to try and be sold. Simple as. Anyway, everybody, that is our show done for this evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your participation throughout the day in all of the shows as well. Please give the video a like on the way out. Get your comments in on the Marcus Rashford situation. And, of course, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button as well. And I will be back first thing in the morning with all of your Manchester United updates. 8 o'clock sharp, everybody. Make sure that you're there. I've got a feeling tonight could be interesting because, yes, Jadon Sancho plays his last game for Chelsea tonight this season. Will it be more, or will Man United be getting 5 million because he is returning, having not been triggered with that loan? I said that wrong then. Having that loan not triggered. Oh, I hope not anyway. But that's it for tonight, everybody.